How you doing, everyone? It's Juan Romero here from Switchwatch. I hope you're all doing really well, having a great week. Thanks for all of your support lately. I know we've been putting out quite a bit of content for you to keep on top of, but hopefully you're enjoying it. If you are and you're a new watcher, then why not consider subscribing? Would love to see you on the next video. For all of you existing watchers, thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot to us. Now, in terms of this one, this is a game called Blackbird, and it was provided by Onion Games. Getting into the story, now this is a shmup, and I have to say that the story actually hit me a little harder than I thought. This is about a girl that wanders onto the street and all of a sudden collapses and passes away. And with this, you'd naturally be thinking in, a street where there's people walking around that somebody would notice, but they don't. Instead, walking past her and thinking nothing of it. Until some older gentleman starts poking her with a walking stick, and then him himself just walks off. It had me disgusted and actually seething with rage, I must admit. Luckily for me though, the girl doesn't take long to turn into an egg. And when this egg hatches, a black bird is ready to wreak havoc on those who ignored her. Now I'm telling you, I was ready to take out anyone, anything, anywhere. Such was the powerful nature of the way this story was told through its wonderful little cutscenes. In terms of the gameplay with this one, it's a simple affair. You can move the black bird left and right, shooting bullets just by holding down the relevant button and placing a bomb if you need to. As you take out enemies, you collect gems, which are large when they drop but soon start to shrink. Now these gems need collecting for your automated upgrades. The combo meter is simply kept up by you killing people in the air and on the ground as fast as possible and continuously keeping the killing spree going for those high scores. It's a constant risk versus reward game in that you want to collect the gems when they're as large as possible to get those upgrades quicker, which means getting as close to those enemies and killing them as close by as you can. The only issue with that is sometimes when they erect a projectile, it's going to hit you and you can die, which is quite frustrating. Now the name of the game to progress is to find the towers which are located within the map, and you can see these in a mini map below as well, and you just need to take them down. Now if you're a shmup veteran, then this is not the most difficult, but it is very enjoyable. Once the towers are taken out, you meet the boss, which usually has two phases, and in general again they're not the most difficult or challenging I found. In fact, I would say the bosses are easier than the levels themselves. Well, that's at least how I felt. The real meat of the game though is unlocking true mode after completing the 4 levels, which should not take you any longer than an hour, I would say, dependent on your skill level of course. I say this because if you lose your health bar, then it's simply game over. You start from the beginning, which can be a super annoyance. The charm really though is in its simplicity. Everything it does for the most part it does really well, except for a few difficulty spikes here and there. I do like the use of bombs. It's welcome for those situations to save yourself, at least at the last second when you're being engulfed, and it is satisfying. Now audio is where this game really takes off. The game doesn't do anything new in terms of its gameplay, but it's how all of the elements come together to make this game truly special. The music especially is something to behold here. It's totally wacky, it's different, a real bizarre score. You would think to put in a shmup it wouldn't work, but it totally does. It feels like I just visited the cinema to watch an action film, but there was a live opera playing at the same time. You think it's nuts, but try it and see. The enemies become part of the music, and it's put together in such a way that it's nothing more than genius, and I absolutely loved it. In terms of visuals, the visuals is absolutely sensational here with some excellent pixel work. Just the visual beauty, and to be honest, you just have to play it to take in all of the wonderful little detail. And even the cutscenes, while not having the biggest budget in the world, project a story really well. In terms of value, this is probably my biggest gripe with the game. Its price point. Don't get me wrong, this is a quality product and I have no problem recommending it. But I think some people may have an issue spending $20 for this based on all the competition on the eShop right now. The great thing about this game is the remixed levels when you do complete it, and the harder mode you get to play, which is really a challenge, and also having the ability to post those scores on the leaderboard, which is always a win if you're competitive like me. So in terms of my verdict, Blackbird is one of those rare games that comes along and just completely surprises you in every way. It's fun, completely bonkers in a good way, has a quirky musical score, stunning design, and is only let down in my view by the slightly high price being asked for. If you can stomach that, then give some support to Onion Games, because this is worthy of being in any SHMUPs fans collection, that's for sure, and I'm giving this one a solid 8 out of 10. Guys and girls, I really appreciate you watching today, and if you enjoyed this review, then please hit that like button. It really helps us out, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. Is this something that you will consider adding to your collection? If so, let me know in the comment section down below. And if you're new here, then we'd love to see you on one of our next reviews, features, gameplay videos, and all the other bizarre and wacky stuff we sometimes do. My name is Juan Romero from Switchwatch, and I'll hopefully see you again on the next one. Take care.